AJ Bruno is a political strategist that worked with Michelle Bachmann in 2012. Hi, AJ. I'm glad you could join us. How are you today?
Hi, good to be with you.
Great, great. What are your thoughts on Haley suspending her race? Should she go independent? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it didn't look like she had much of a chance for a while. She was way, way behind in the polls. And I feel like this was kind of inevitable. So, should she go independent? Well, I don't see really a lane for that. I mean, if she wants a future in Republican politics, that would be a bad move. And the independent lane is kind of being filled by primarily RFK. So I don't think there's any room for anyone else there. And she doesn't really have a path forward in this race.
Do you think RFK will gain the independent votes in the election?
Well, if you look at the polls that actually include him, a lot of them have him at 14, 15%, which is a lot for an independent candidate. Can he make it a three-way race? I guess we'll have to see, but it's an interesting dynamic. I just don't think there's any space for someone else to get in there and take a chunk of the vote like that.
On March 3rd, a poll from Fox News found Biden gaining support among white evangelical voters compared to previous polls. How does that change Trump's chances?
I mean, it's interesting. I don't know how much of an effect that'll have because if you look at Trump versus Biden, especially if you throw in RFK, Trump does have an edge. So I guess the smart money's on him right now. I don't see many actual evangelicals voting for Biden, if for no other reason than the abortion issue, which obviously is a big one. So I don't think that really he'd get anything significant to support him in that area, except maybe when it comes to some of the minority vote. But even that, he's losing part of it.
What do you think about the Garvey and Schiff race?
It's interesting. I mean, Garvey is obviously very popular for his baseball past there, but we have to remember that this is California, and it would take basically a miracle for a Republican to win a Senate race there now. The state has just gone so far to one side. Maybe you can make it closer than it would be otherwise, but it's just such an uphill battle that I just don't see the numbers being there. But, it'll be, I think, closer than recent races. It's just hard to imagine how a Republican would win in essentially a one-party state.
And since you're in New Jersey, I got to get the New Jersey Senate race in with Bob Menendez just getting his fourth indictment yesterday. Where do you see this whole thing playing out? I know he's been stubborn in these court cases as far as stepping down. Do you think he's going to step down? And if he does, who do you see taking his seat if that does happen?
I mean, he's the kind of politician who would have to be basically dragged out there. So we'll have to see. I mean, he was indicted for similar crimes. I think it was in 2015, 2016, something like that. And, he didn't learn his lesson after that. He did the same worse crimes, apparently, because he's been indicted for more. And it seems like this is more egregious. So he got away with it the first time, and I don't think he's getting away with it this time. I can't imagine he would be able to stay in the Senate much longer, much less win another term. It's just not sustainable, and I think his political career is essentially over. He'll be lucky if he stays out of prison. So unless Biden decides to pardon him at the end of the term, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. All right, AJ. Thanks so much for joining us. It's great to have you on as a first-time guest. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.